everyone. Welcome to Let's Unbound. Today, I'll be discussing solutions for the next 5 questions of 5 markers for grade 7-8, which came for Math Kangaroo 2024 exam. So let's start from question 26. Here is the question. Question says, Farmer Frank is selling chicken and duck eggs. He has baskets holding 4, 6, 12, 13, 22, and 29 eggs. His first customer buys all the eggs in one basket, but we don't know which basket the customer picked. Okay. Frank notices that the number of chicken eggs he has left is twice the number of duck eggs. How many eggs did the customer buy? Let's just notice what all we need to keep in mind before starting with the question. All you can see right now is I have given numbering to the baskets because the question says he has baskets holding these many eggs. Okay. Now it's mix of both chicken and duck eggs. We don't know how many are chicken eggs, how many are duck eggs. So I have created 6 baskets, keeping the respective number of baskets, the respective number of eggs given in the question. Now his first customer buys all the eggs in one basket. So we don't know which basket the customer picked. It could be B1, right? The customer could have picked 4 eggs or 6 eggs or 12 or any of the remaining basket. But whichever basket the customer picked, he took all the eggs from that basket. Okay. So that we need to remember. So the entire basket was empty, that we can remember. So one thing is clear, if these are the total number of eggs in the basket before the customer picked, so total would be 86, right? But after the customer left, what Frank noticed that the number of chicken eggs is twice the number of duck eggs, right? So this is important thing to note, that the chicken eggs is twice the number of duck eggs. So I have taken C and D to denote the chicken and the duck eggs. You can see here, right? So that means the total number of eggs which are left after the customer has taken one of the basket completely is C plus D, right? So can I say if it is C plus D, the remaining eggs, so C is 2 times D. So that means the total number of eggs left will be 3 times the duck eggs, 3D. Okay. So now how to find the left means the number of eggs left, right? So now how we are going to find the number of eggs left? So that means total eggs, that is 86, minus whatever the number of eggs the customer took. If it is 4, we will subtract 4. If it is 6, we will subtract 6. If it is 12, we will subtract 12, and so on. And the rest of the eggs which are left, we are going to get, right? So this is basically the entire general formula which we can get. So which is this. And lastly, what we can do is bring this 3 in the denominator and check that how many duck eggs are there. Okay, but the question is not to find the duck eggs. Question is, how many eggs did the customer buy? So that means the answer has to be from one of these baskets, right? That's why I've written basket taken, because all the eggs from the basket were taken. Okay, let me solve one for you. So let's assume the customer took basket number 1. Okay, just a guess, because that's what we have to find. So if it is basket 1, so customer took 4 eggs. If customer took 4 eggs, so total eggs minus the eggs which customer took, so 82 left. Now 82 is the number of eggs left. So number of eggs left were how many? Equal to 3D, or you can say C plus D, which is equals to 3D. So D is 82 over 3. Is this even a whole number? No, this you are going to get in decimals. Eggs can never be in decimals. It has to be a whole number, right? because nobody will take half a egg and leave the half in the basket. Okay, so all we need to do here is we need to check whether your final answer is divisible. What we need to check? We need to check that the final answer should be divisible by 3 or not. So this was not divisible by 3. That means customer didn't take basket 1. Okay, so basket 1 is out. Similarly, you can check. So instead of, like going through this entire calculation, all you can do is pick up the basket number. So the second basket is 12. Just subtract it from the total number, and whatever answer you are getting, check whether it is divisible by 3 or not. Just divide that by 3, because ultimately in the calculation, you're going to get a 3 in the denominator, right? From this general formula on the right side. Okay, so let's just check quickly for the rest of them. So for 6, okay, I checked for 6 also, but it was not in the option, right? So you can actually discard if you don't want to check, because in options, whatever is there, we have to check only those many. But I checked for 6 also. So total minus 6, which is basket number 2, I get 80, and 80 is not divisible by 3. Second one, 86 minus 12. That means the third basket. Answer is 74, which is again not divisible by 3. Third, which is 13 eggs in basket number 4. So again, 73 is not divisible by 3. Next, let's check for 22. So 86 minus 22 is giving 64. Again, not divisible by 3. Last one, 86 minus 29 gives you 57. And 57 is divisible by 3, because this is going to give you what? Yes, 19. So that means it's a whole number. Okay, so that means my last option is correct. That is E, 29. So the customer took basket 6. Actually, not the basket, but the number of eggs in the basket. Okay, so 29 eggs were taken by the customer. Okay, so sometimes we don't have to go through the entire process of calculation, but get an idea with one option what exactly we need to check. So here the divisibility concept for 3, digit 3, we are using to discard the options which are not part of our solution and select and get the right one. So option E is correct. So you can see option E is right. Moving on to our next question, which is question 27. Question 27 says, three angles alpha, beta, and gamma are marked on graph paper as shown. What is the value of alpha plus beta plus gamma? Okay, nothing else is given. Question is very plain, just one line sentence. All we need to figure out is from the diagram. One important thing to notice, it's a graph paper. And graph paper is always squared. Can you see the squares? Yes. So that means somewhere the property of square we have to use. Because if they're using a graph paper, that means the whatever measurements are there, it will be precised. Okay. Now we need to find alpha, beta, gamma. Okay. I want you to focus on this particular triangle. Okay. Right. Okay. So in this particular triangle, if I ask you, there are three angles. Alpha, sum of P and Q. So I've marked P and Q already. And this angle R, right? So if I take this, let me just name your triangle as A, B, and C. Okay. So our task is, let's first see what we can figure out and why I've specifically marked those angles PQR, I'll tell you. So look at R, okay? If I, okay, if you look at R is basically part of this and this, right? The lines which I've just drawn, they are diagonals, diagonals of a square because this is a square. So you can see the two lines in between, they are diagonals. And every square has all the angles 90 degree. So if the entire angle is 90 degree from both the sides, so half of it from both the sides will be what? It is going to give you 45 degrees, right? So half of R and half of R is 45 and 45. So total will be 90. Okay, I hope you get it. So I'll just show you one more time. So this half of R is going to be 45 and the other half of R is also going to be 45 because total should be 90 as per the property of square. Okay, so we got the value of R as 90. So we have R ready. We have no idea about P and Q as of now, and neither alpha, but we have one property of triangle. If I am taking triangle ABC, I know any triangle's sum of angle is going to be 180 degree. Okay, so that means in triangle ABC, alpha plus P plus Q I've taken together because that I'm considering as one angle, but since it's break of two angles, so I've taken P plus Q plus R. So angle 1, 2, 3, some angle, some property of triangle is 180 degree. Okay. Now we can just put the value of R, which is 90. So just take 90 on the other side. So you get alpha plus P plus Q equal 90. But in the question, they are not asking you the sum of alpha plus P plus Q. They're asking you alpha plus beta and gamma. So if somehow I show that P is equal to either gamma or alpha, and similarly Q, I think my task will be done. So let's just have a look again in the diagram and see, can we get a relation between P and any of the other two angles, beta, gamma, similarly for Q. Okay, so if you have a look, let's say these two sides. Can you see these two sides are of the square sides? Okay, so obviously these two sides are going to be parallel because the entire graph paper is square grid based. So it is going to be parallel. Obviously, the angles are also going to be 90 degree. The sides are going to be same. So these two sides which I have highlighted, they are parallel also. They're equal also. Okay, so that means if I talk about this line, right? So it's the transversal. So now if this is the transversal, these two angles, that is P and Q. So let me just take another color. If this pink line, which I have colored, this is the transversal. So can you see that across this line, angle P and gamma, they are basically alternate angles, right? They are alternate angles, and alternate angles are always equal. So we are using that property. So P becomes equal, so Q becomes equal to gamma. What about P and beta? Let's use the similar property. Let me use the green line now. So you can see these two lines. Okay, so you can see this line is again acting as a transversal. And if you see, these two lines will be parallel. Reason, because the other two lines are parallel and these two sides will be equal also. So obviously it's going to form a parallelogram. So when two lines are parallel and there's a transversal, so these are alternate angles. So that means P will be same as beta. Okay, so P is same as beta. So what we got is P is equal to beta and Q is equals to gamma. Over here you can see. So therefore we got alpha plus beta plus gamma as 90, right? So all we have to do is just try to make some of the angles equal to the remaining ones, and we got our answer. So we actually got our answer well in advance, 90. All we had to figure out is what should be the angle P and Q related to. Okay, so answer is option D, that is 90 degrees. I hope this question was clear. So this is the answer. And moving on to question 28, which is again a very interesting question. Let's just see. Captain Flint asked four of his pirates to write on a piece of paper how many gold, silver, and bronze coins were in the treasure chest. Their responses are shown in the diagram, but unfortunately, part of the paper was damaged. So you can see this part of the paper is missing somewhere, right? So some of the values are missing in between. Okay. Only one of the four pirates told the truth. The other three lied in all their answers. Okay, so out of these four pirates, only one is truthful. The total number of coins is 30. All right, so one information we got is that total coins are 30. Important information. And they're saying who told the truth. So we need to figure out of the four pirates who is speaking the truth, right? And obviously the rest of them will be definitely lying. All right. Since the total sum of coins is 30, that means we don't know how much gold coins Tom said, but whatever the total is of gold and silver and bronze, it's going to give you 30. Similarly, this is also 30, this also, but we don't know who is telling the truth and who's telling the false. So sum is 30. Okay, let's just start from Tom. Let's assume Tom is speaking the truth. Okay, if Tom is telling the truth, right? So if Tom is telling the truth, then it means what? If Tom is telling the truth, so silver is 9 and bronze is 11, total is 30. So how much will be gold? How much will be gold? 30 minus 9 and 11. So that means gold will be 10 according to Tom. If gold is 10 according to Tom, right? But Pitt is also saying that gold is 10. How can two people say the same thing? Either Tom can say the truth or Pitt can say truth. Now we don't know. So if Tom is telling truth, how can Pitt also say the truth? Not possible. So that means the first case where we are saying Tom is telling truth, that's incorrect. So let's assume Pitt is telling truth, because he also said 10 gold coins. So second is Pitt, let's assume. So for Tom, it's gone, case is gone. Second is Pitt. So if Pitt is saying 10 gold, 10 bronze, total is 30. So how much will be silver according to Pitt? It will be again 10, right? 30 minus 20. But just notice, even Jim is saying that silver is 10. How can two people say the same thing? Not possible, because out of all, only one person is telling the truth. So that means the second possibility also went incorrect. So Pitt is also not telling the truth. Yes, because we ended up getting a contradiction. Okay, so next up we have third one, Jim. Okay, now Jim is saying 9 gold, 10 silver. So bronze will be how many? It will be 11. 30 minus 9 minus 10. So if Jim is saying 11 bronze, you see Tom is also saying 11. How can two people say 11? Isn't it strange? So that means what? Jim is also not the correct person, okay, not telling the truth, because Tom is already out. Okay, so Tom is lying, then Pitt also, then Jim. So who is left? The last person, Al. Okay, but we need to check whether all the conditions are falling in the right place with the last person. So if the last person is telling the truth, that is Al, so gold, how much he's saying? 7. bronze 12. So that means silver will be 11. And if you cross check, nobody else said that silver is 11 because Tom said 9, Pitt said 10, Jim said 10. That means what Al said is absolutely correct. So the fourth pirate is telling the truth and rest are lying because here no contradiction happened. Everything went smoothly with the conditions. Okay, so that means option B is correct. Simple. So B option is right. Moving on to question 29, second last question. It says Alex drives from point A to point B, then immediately returns to A. Bob drives from point B to point A, then immediately returns to B. They travel on the same road, start at the same time, and each travels at a constant speed. Alex's speed is 3 times Bob's speed. They pass each other for the first time 15 minutes after the start. So it says that how long after the start will they pass each other for the second time? So you need to find out how long after the start they are going to meet for the second time. That means it should be the sum of time taken when they met for the first meeting plus time taken when they met for the second meeting. It's going to be the sum of meeting 1 and 2. So basically, time taken for meeting 1 and meeting 2 when they met, that should be your final answer. This is clear? So let's start with few things. First important information from the question is that Alex's speed is 3 times Bob's speed. Very important information. So I've marked it as a star information. Second, each pass e so they pass each other for the first time 15 minutes after the start. So they met each other after 15 minutes for the first time. Okay, so let me just show you a diagram. Let's say we have point A and B. Alex is going from A towards B and Bob is going from B towards A. But ultimately, they have to return back to their starting point. Okay, but in between, let's see when they are meeting. So for the first time they are meeting is after 15 minutes. Okay, because we got to know that Alex is moving 3 times faster than Bob, it means when Alex was at point, if you see, if Alex is moving 3 times faster, okay, so if Alex is at M, that is, you can see from the diagram itself, this is 3 times of what Bob is. So Bob has traveled only this much. You can see the below pink line is for Bob, above one is for Alex. Alex is here, Bob is here. So you can clearly see they both are meeting for the first time. That is 15 minutes it took. So AM is 3 times MB. Okay? Or BM, you can say it's the same thing. So 15 minutes it took. Now, right now they are at the green positions, right? I've put green dots. So they are at this place. Now they again continue to move and let's see when they're meeting for the second time. If you look at Alex, because Alex is moving 3 times faster, Alex is at M right now here, even B is at M. But the direction of Alex is obviously he will finish up till B and then start moving back towards A, right? Whereas Bob needs to first finish going till here and then only can come back, right? So Alex will first move from M to B, then B to M, right? And then M to N, let's say, okay, because he's 3 times faster. So I'm taking 3 distance, let's say, right? And Bob can only move this much till the time Alex moves 3 times faster, okay? So we can take Alex as MB, BM, and MN, whereas Bob just moved MN. But in order to find how much time they are again taking to meet, for the second meeting, So let's use this concept, that is Alex is moving 3 times faster than Bob. So that means whatever distance is Alex covering, this distance, which I have put it in the rectangular box, it should be 3 times of mn, right? So that means by star means this same concept above. I can equate them, and what I see is MB is same as MN. That means as much time Bob took to cover MB, right? Same time will be taken for Bob to reach MN. And obviously, they both are meeting now at the same point, that is N, right? So if Bob took this much time, 15, from B to M, so from M to N also he will take 15 because speed is same for Bob, right? So that means it will take another 15 minutes for them to meet for the second time. So in total, from the time they started, so it says how long after the start will they pass each other for the second time. So 15 minutes plus 15 minutes gives you 30 minutes. That is option C. So option C is correct. Now coming to our last question, which is very important, and question number 30 is here. It says in the pentagon ABCDE, A and B, they are equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so if you say, I can just put a symbol for 90 degrees. And ED is equal to DC. ED, that means this side, is same as this side. Okay. 4 points are marked on AB, dividing it into 5 equal parts. So now they are all equal parts. Can you see? These are all equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can, let me take some alphabet. I can take H. So they're all same. Okay. Then perpendiculars are drawn through these points as shown. So all are perpendiculars. That means all are 90 degrees. Okay. Till now only A and B were same, but now all are perpendicular, so 90 degree. The dark shaded region has an area of 13 centimeter. That is, this dark shaded area has 13 centimeter square, and the light shaded area has 10 centimeter square. Okay. Now, okay, also AE is same as BC. So AE, this is same as this line, you can see, same as CB. So let me take it as small a just to represent that they are same. Now we need to find the area of the entire pentagon. We need to find what is the area of this entire pentagon. You can see area of these two sides are given, these two areas. For the rest, it's not given. One thing is clear, it looks symmetrical, right? Also, they have given us information that these two sides are same. Then they have said these two sides are same. And then this is divided into equal parts with perpendiculars drawn. So when perpendiculars are drawn, and if I take, let's say, parallel lines like these, so definitely even they will be, you will see they will also be at 90 degrees. Okay. Right? They will also be at 90 degrees. Okay. One thing is clear. Another thing, since they are symmetrical, because of the given information we have that these two are same, these are same, and these are equally spaced. So we can say that the other portion, so whatever will be the area for this light gray portion, same will be for this light gray. So that will be 10 again. So we get the information for this part also as 10 centimeters. Now coming to the smaller gray areas, that is the most important thing, which is this. If you look at the smaller portion, it is actually a combination of a triangle and a rectangle, okay? Because this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, and this side is A, this side is H. And since I've drawn a parallel line and it's 90 degrees, so this will also be H. And if this is A, this will also be A. So it forms a rectangle. The other part, since it's 90 degrees, so it's a right angle triangle, right? So this is H. Now what will be this much? So even this will be A. If you have a look at the diagram, you will get to know that this is A, right? This is A, and they're all symmetrical squares, sorry, rectangles, right? So since they are parallel lines, there are 90 degrees, okay? And if this is H, this will be H. So similarly, this is A, so this will be A, and likewise the rest of them. So what information we get about rectangle? We get the information about rectangle, length as A, width as H, and similarly for the triangle, we get A here and height, obviously H is there. So in order to find the area of this piece, I need to find the area of rectangle plus area of triangle. Okay. Now have a look at this shape, this one. Isn't it not combination of the same rectangle with length A and width H, similarly here, and the triangle we are talking about, because this is 90 degrees. So can I say that if I talk about this light gray area, so it's basically sum of 2 times the area of rectangle plus area of triangle. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are quickly going to, let me just erase this. So I'm talking about the light gray area. So light gray area, we know it's given to us in the question, it's 10 centimeters square, right? 1, area of 2 and area of 3 will be 10. So you can see the light gray trapezium here is combination of 3 parts, that is 1, 2, 3, and we have the base, height, length, width for all the parts ready, that is in A and H. So this is how we are going to get the area of 1, that is nothing but area of triangle, and we know area of triangle is, so I'll just write here, area of triangle, we know it is half times base times height. Okay, so that is half times H times A, and area of second and third is area of rectangle, which is length times width, which is A times H. After calculating that, we can see we get AH as 4. If AH is 4, it means what can we say about this particular trapezium? It's again a combination of one triangle and one rectangle. Okay, so if AH is 4, can I say the area of this triangle is, obviously using this formula, so it will be half times what was base and height. Base was, you can check this, same. So base was your H and height was A. So half AH. Okay. So half AH is your triangle, and AH we just calculated 4. So that means area of triangle is 2. And what about area of rectangle? So you can see area of rectangle is length times width, which is H times A, or A times H, that is 4. So that means the rectangle area is 4. So together this smaller trapezium is 2 plus 4, so 6. Okay, so the total area of trapezium will be what? 13 centimeters for the middle dark gray region, 10 centimeter each for the gray region, and you can see similarly the symmetrical region of this. So these two are going to have 10, and then now 2 plus 4, 6. So same way, this will also be 2 plus 4, 6. Okay, so that means these two regions will be 6 and 6. Little messy. Okay, so let me just erase this. So what will be the total? You just have to add them. So that will be what? 13 plus 10 plus 10, 20, 6 plus 6, 12. So how much will it be? It will be 45. So that means the total area of this particular pentagon is 45 centimeter square, which is option A. Right? So this was all for the last question, and you can see the answer is also correct. So that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and you understood all the 5 questions. Thank you for watching.